Hey everyone. I'm sitting here, obviously I'm hanging out in my car, and I was recently listening to something about a study that the IBM Institute for Business Value, and they're talking about the Great Resignation. They're talking about 55% of the currently employed workforce actively pursuing or thinking about pursuing a new job in 2022. Over the next 12 months, they're thinking about leaving their current employer. And we've heard so much about the Great Resignation, millions of employees this past year leaving their current job. And the piece of the conversation that I feel like, as I sit with this and think about this, the piece that's missing is what's happening right now isn't happening instantly. These are people that have been thinking about this for months or years. And so the piece of the conversation that I feel like is missing is, what about the great internal resignation? What about those 55% that are still employed, that are still with their employers, but internally have already resigned and they just continue to collect a paycheck? What are we thinking, and how are we serving those? How are we reaching those that are struggling with finding meaning and purpose and impact and contribution in their day-to-day routine? And as I think about that, the thing that comes to me and the thing that strikes me as I look at the research in this space, and there's tons of it. If you type in the Great Resignation, you'll find millions, tens of millions of posts about the Great Resignation. But as I think about this and what can be done about it, the thing that stands out to me is reconnecting people with purpose. What would happen to those 55% that have internally resigned, internally within themselves, psychologically detached themselves from their work? What would happen if we just asked a simple question of them? And that question is this: do you understand who is impacted by your work? Do you understand why your work matters? Do you understand why you matter? And see what opens up. See what happens. Part of me thinks that, this propensity that we have as humans to focus on the externals and the surface level problems, like the Great Resignation, sometimes we can end up chasing symptoms and never get to the heart of the matter. And I just happen to have a bias that the heart of the matter, more times than not, is reconnecting people with purpose, creates that psychological engagement that we have need of. Those are some random thoughts from me sitting in a car right now. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and I'll see you later. Peace.